This is the... Oh, gracious. What is going on? And who are you, sir?
The Black Panther.
The Black Panther. Y'all, we got the Black Panther in the building. So do you want to do the intro with me, the Black Panther?
It would be an honor.
Ooh, you got the voice together too. You ready?
Yes, I do.
This is the Weightlifting Geek, the intersection of technology and technique, and the home of the Geek Squad. Do you want to beat the YouTube algorithm? Do you want to be successful like the Black Panther? So, what we're going to talk about today is beating the YouTube algorithm. Now, when we say beat the YouTube algorithm, what do we mean? How can you be successful on the platform? That is what we are going to discuss right now. GoPro, stop recording. Do you want to beat the YouTube algorithm? That is exactly what we're discussing today. How can we use watch time hours to beat the YouTube algorithm, to grow on this platform? So we want to keep you updated on where we stand. Right now, we're at 1,251 family members. That number's gone up a little bit since the time of recording this video. This is actually a voiceover of the original video because the audio was messed up. So we have to make do with what we got. So we're making this voiceover over the top of the video. So bear with me as we kind of remember what we are doing. Now we're talking about the 4 types of YouTube content. Now we're going to go to analytics because analytics is going to show us something really interesting. Now, as we go over to analytics, here we can see what we have for the last 28 days. Now, the reason why we're looking at analytics, we're talking about watch time hours. And we got to remember that there's 4 types of YouTube content. There's long form content, which is just a video that's pre-recorded and uploaded to YouTube. Second is a YouTube premiere. And the only difference between a premiere and long form content is that the premiere is set up in such a way that you can interact with your family members during the video in the live chat. So there's interaction real time with your family and the content creator. Now, the third type is YouTube Lives. That's where you can interact not only in the chat, but also on screen with your family members. That real-time communication is so important. And then number 4 is YouTube Shorts. And we're going to get to those in just a minute. But while we're here on the analytics, in just a second, we are going to come over to the right and we're going to change it from 28 days to 365 days. And the reason for that change is very important. And I want you to take notice of something once we make the change. Now, once this loads, we're going to see our views over the last 365 days. Now, we are working toward monetization. So that 365 days is the time frame that we are currently at if we were to qualify for monetization. You can see how the views jumped beginning in February, moving forward. And then now, if we come over to watch time hours, you can see how in December, we had a little bit of a boost in watch time hours. We had one really good day in December. That day, we had 51.9 watch time hours on December 18th of 2021, which was a huge jump for us. And it's progressively increased up and down. And now as you look at June, July, and August, you can see how things have increased, especially in July and August, because these are the months that we started doing the premieres as well as our live streams. Now, that is some interesting information. And I'm mousing over the fact that we have 3,700 watch hours, which would make you think that we are very close to qualifying for monetization. However, when we go over and click on monetization, notice what we see. We only have 2,868 public watch hours of the 4,000 that's required to reach monetization. So the question is, why is there this discrepancy? Why don't the numbers match? It doesn't make sense. Stay tuned throughout the video and we're going to explain to you just why. Now we're going back to our dashboard and we're going to look at some things that's going to help to put all of this together. Now we're going to go down to the content tab and we're going to be able to see the types of content that we are producing here at the Weightlifting Geek. Now, as you can tell, we do all forms of content here on our channel. We produce all types of content. Now, we're going to go down and we're going to take notice of something that's really important. We'll give it just 1 second. Trying to remember what I was telling you right here, right now. But I believe it's something that we've already discussed. We were talking about watch hours and the reason for that discrepancy. So we're kind of reiterating here the different types of content. And it's important to know what these types of content are and their purpose or their benefit for your YouTube channel here on this platform. Understanding those things gives you the knowledge and the ability to use them to accomplish your goals so that your channel can reach the goals that you set for it. So here we're going over to one of our premieres. And I think what we were just discussing is long form content and how unless you have really energetic or enthralling content, long form content, oftentimes people view it for 30 seconds, maybe a minute or two, and then they leave. And that's the downside of long form content. But now we're looking at this video, YouTube analytics, understanding them. This was our Tech Tuesday for last week. This week is somewhat of a continuation of it. And next week, we're going to dig even deeper into analytics of YouTube. But we're making reference to the fact that for this video, we got 20.6 watch hours, which is 13.6 more than usual. And we got 7 subscribers. Now, this video is a little bit different. And the reason is because for this Tech Tuesday, we actually were rated by Scratch and Pete PA. So our numbers are higher than normal. However, because it is a premiere, there is certain analytical data that we can gain from this video. And that's what we're going to discuss in just a moment. So there's nothing wrong with long form content. However, when it comes to YouTube premieres, there are certain advantages that really make it worth your while to at least give it a try and see if it is something that works for you. So right now we are discussing something else about YouTube analytics and watch time hours. And now we're going over to the details. And hopefully the mouse clicks will jog my memory as to what we are discussing. Oh, here I was trying to show you how you could set up a premiere. Now, because that video was already out, you would click on that same thing and you could do save or publish, or you could schedule it. But down at the bottom, you would actually have a button or a box where the mouse was just floating that would allow you to set it up as a premiere. And then you have the option to do 2 to 5 minutes of kind of like a buffer to allow people to come to your video before it starts. We normally do a 5-minute buffer. It just gives everyone plenty of time to make it to the live stream. So I wanted to highlight that for you, but I got back out of that video before I messed it up trying to show you how to set one up. So I wanted to kind of bring your attention to that. And then now that we've done that, the next thing that we are going to talk about, we wanted to look at one more thing, and I believe it's one or two more things. Let's see. Okay, so here we're talking about the watch time hours, the reason for the increase, and breaking down what's happening there. Your typical for our channel for a premiere versus what we got right then. Now, the goal and the hope is that the momentum that we built from last Tech Tuesday and the fact that many people that saw our content for the first time and found it valuable will hopefully come back today for this Tech Tuesday. Now, as you look, we're looking at the views and how the video climbed. From the time that it started, it grew quickly, and our video views peaked out at 145. Now here, for some reason, I think I had the 7 subscribers in my brain because I was trying to show how it hit 147, but it never hit 147. It only hit 145. And about right here is when I began to realize that no, the numbers are right. It is an issue with my brain. Now, that being the case, if we come over to watch time hours, we can see the same thing. How the video, it started out, it peaked because it was a premiere, and how the watch time hours for the video has increased over time. And that's what we want to see. We want to see a continual increase, even if it's just a little bump, just something saying that our content is moving in the right direction. And here we looked at the subscribers, and now this is important. We're looking at the concurrent viewers. And what this tells us is during the video, how many people were in at one time watching our content. Now, looking at the numbers, you can see from 1 minute, 0 minutes all the way up to 35 minutes, why it is the way that it is. And it may seem strange because you're looking at the video saying it's only 33 minutes and 25 seconds. So why does it have 35 minutes down there? Well, because for this video, we ended up doing a 2-minute premiere or a 2-minute buffer before the premiere. So the 325 plus the 2 gives us 35 and some change. So that's the reason why I chose 35. And what I was making reference to right now is analyzing your live stream or your premiere video to see what may have happened to cause that drop that I'm showing with the mouse right there. And in looking back and analyzing your content, it may be something that you said. It may be a gesture that you made. It may be something that happened in the background. But that kind of feedback allows you to hone or fine-tune your skills when it comes to content creation. And it definitely will help you to become an even better content creator. Because our audience is going to tell us what they like to see. Even if they don't verbally tell us, the numbers tell us what happened. And we can make the adjustments, figuring out what dropped and why. So I wanted to highlight that, and looking at the entire video, you can see the vast majority of the time our numbers were very high. So that kind of information is very valuable. And we can see a spike in subscribers here. And it's because of the fact that many people came from Scratch and Pete PA's raid that had not been to our content or our channel before, or maybe for some reason were disconnected in the past. So 6 people immediately reconnected or connected with us on this platform. And then over time, 1 more person did. And that's what caused the jump from 6 to 7. And no doubt we're thankful for all 7 of these wonderful people, these excellent content creators, our family members who came to join the Geek Squad fam. So looking at this kind of information is very valuable, and it may seem boring. It may not seem interesting, but this is the telltale sign of how we can beat the YouTube algorithm. We have to remember that YouTube is a business. They are in business because they keep people on their platform and they can charge companies money to advertise on their platform. So if you are trying to take your YouTube channel and turn it from a hobby to a business, if you are trying to make it a career, if you are trying to work for YouTube, then it is important for you to understand what YouTube requires of you. So we're working to learn and put these things together so that we can be effective content creators. Not only for our audience, but also for our employer, for YouTube. That way, both sides get exactly what they want. Our audience gets the motivation, they get the feedback, they get the live interaction. And at the same time, our employer, YouTube, gets exactly what they want. The type of content that allows them to make even more revenue on this platform. And the more revenue that they make, the more revenue that we can make. So knowing these things really does make a difference when it comes to content creation. When it comes to being a YouTube content creator. So I really wanted to hone in on these things and break them down because this is the behind the scenes. As Miss Lee from Panama City would say, if you don't know what's going on in your back office, you're going to have problems. Now, she calls the YouTube studio the back office, her back office. But I'm telling you, if you don't know what's happening in your back office, then you are going to have problems. And that is something that we want to avoid as much as possible. So I believe this is the spot where I got slightly confused. I think I may have been looking for a piece of long form content to share, but most of our content is indeed premieres. As a matter of fact, moving forward, all of our content will either be a YouTube premiere or a YouTube live stream. And the reason for that is because YouTube pushes those 2 types of content more than anything else on its platform. Because those 2 types of content are the most engaging types of content available on this platform. And YouTube knows it. So the same thing holds true for us. Now we're going over to the live tab. We want to look at some of our live streams. Now, bear in mind that sometimes the numbers when it comes to live streams can be inaccurate or inaccurate. Now, we're looking at this particular live stream, the one that we did in the gym. And I think that's the one I click on. Or I'll click on this one. Oh, I'll click on the After Work Connect with New YouTube Family. So that was from August the 10th. It got 104 views. And when you come over here to the overview, it only shows 10 views and 0.1 watch hours. Sometimes it takes time for the analytical side of your live stream to populate and to give you the credit for your views and your watch time hours. However, the information that you find here in these particular areas of the analytics of YouTube Studio are invaluable to content creators. Now, I kind of left that one because I wasn't quite sure how it worked, and I wanted to make sure I showed you a good one. So we went to the analytics of our Connect with New YouTube family. This was one of our best. It had 117 views, and obviously it had more watch hours than that. It had more views than that. However, it was some great feedback. It was some great information that we find here in this portion of the YouTube Studio website. And knowing these things and understanding these things makes such a big difference. Now, I was trying to adjust to get a more accurate representation of what was taking place. But I switched to the first 24 hours. That didn't do me good. And then I switched to I think I switched to the last 7 days. Oh no, I switched to since published, thinking that would include everything. However, it didn't, and it still looked just a little bit off. Not quite what I was expecting. So I just wanted to give you the feedback on how that works so you'll know how it works and what it does. I want to say we looked at 1 or 2 more live streams or premieres. Yeah, we looked at the Scorpion Hot Challenge. That got 244 views. And we're just waiting for it to load. And as you can tell, the discrepancy is there because 200 and something. Why is it only 80? Why is there only 12.3 watch hours? Why is there no subscribers? Now, a lot of times, especially when it comes to things like this, what you're going to find is the more you do, the more you're going to grow. So it's going to look strange at times. But sometimes those watch time hours have already been applied to your channel. So you may be only seeing the increase between this day and yesterday. But don't give up. Live streams are the way to go. And now you can see the 12.3 watch hours for the first 6 days. And for the 15 hours. So now we are going over and we're going to look at the same information for this particular live stream, just so that you can get an idea of what is taking place. So I think I'm talking a little bit more about watch time hours. I may have been talking at this point about YouTube Shorts and the importance of understanding their role. And then if you look, we can see the chat messages. It spiked at about 29 messages, but it peaked at a total chat messages of 1,313, which is absolutely phenomenal. So when we add all the highs and the lows up, we can see where we get that 1313 from, because that's the number of all of these put together. And knowing those chats and how the chat was flowing, that's another thing that we often may take for granted. The chat flowing actually helps our channel to grow. So allow me to illustrate. If I was to say, let me know in the comments below what you think about the video so far. What is your favorite type of YouTube content to produce? Now, because this is a premiere, I'm looking forward to seeing your answers to this question. But I also want you to understand that doing things like this engages your audience. It makes them feel included in the party, included in the video, and they are more likely to do and answer questions such as these to help your live stream to keep going. And here we're looking at the watch time hours again, so we can kind of understand what's happening. So I back out. We go back. Excuse me, y'all. It has been a long day. It is 10 o'clock at night, and I'm pushing to get this video out for you by tomorrow when you're watching it right now. But I wanted to show you this delt workout clip. Now, when I put that clip out, it was only 8 seconds, and I really put it out just because I wanted to see what would happen, and I wanted to show that particular type of movement. But within the first hour, it jumped from 0 to 5,000 views. And the reason for that is because YouTube showed that video to a few people and they liked it. So then those few people, it was recommended to a few more people. And YouTube could begin to tell that many people are liking this video. So YouTube starts to push it even more. And the more that they push it, the more that it grows. And that's the reason why within the first hour, you can have such a massive spike in your content. Now, as you look and as it continues, it doesn't necessarily get too much higher than that. But you can tell that initial spike and everything that took place was well worth it. So using YouTube Shorts, let's explain how we're going to use it. Now, in looking at this, it may seem like something is off. Now, that 12.8 watch hours, the reason why I was scrolling over that is because that 12.8 watch hours does not count toward monetization. It does not count toward monetization. In order to be monetized, you still have to reach the 4,000 watch hours and the 1K family member or family members in order to qualify for monetization. Now, let's break this down. That number that we initially looked at, the 3.7K, and then when we went over to the monetization, it was 2.8. You think about how many YouTube Shorts we put out. YouTube Shorts are great. They are free advertising on this platform, but they are not the end all and the be all. So, knowing that, we can see the importance of doing some other things like we're discussing right here. Now, when we go to engagement and then watch time hours, we can see how that went and we can see the engagement of our video. And that makes it very interesting. There's a lot of people that like that particular workout because of the numbers. Now we're showing not subscribed and subscribed. And you may be thinking, well, that's kind of wrong, Joe. Like, don't you want those numbers to be reversed? So the reason why they're not is because we are literally using this to advertise our channel to other content creators on the platform, as opposed to using the channel as a revenue stream in order to take payments. And Lord, what am I talking about? Y'all forgive me. Y'all forgive me. It has been a long day, and I don't mean to talk crazy, but I got slightly confused there for a second. But what I was saying is the reason is you're sending it to people that haven't become family members. Now, we got the mouse over the 5 because that's 5 family members that we didn't have, that we now have as family members because of that 8-second video. So that's what we're talking about when we say free advertising with YouTube Shorts. If this was any other platform, any other social media, you know the major ones, you would have to pay to promote your post, pay to spread your post to hopefully reach more people. Whereas here, YouTube is literally giving us an avenue that will allow us to get thousands and thousands of views on our content without ever having to pay anything at all. So that's how we're using YouTube Shorts. We're not relying on them too heavily. We're not using them all the time, but we use them some each day because of how effective they are in reaching those that are not even part of our family. And in so doing, we begin to learn to beat the YouTube algorithm because new people are coming to our platform, to our channel, and they are joining our channel. And that makes YouTube happy. Because YouTube now says, if you're doing that, then we can do other things and you're going to bring people to our platform because of your content. So I really wanted to break these things down so you would understand what each one is, what they do, and why they are so important for content creators. And it really just depends on how you want to do it and how you want to use it. Like I said, we drop 2 YouTube Shorts a day. And then we have 2 live streams a day, Monday through Friday, for both of those types of content. Except on Tuesday. On Tuesday, like today, we don't have a lunchtime vlog. We simply have the premiere of this video right now. So that's kind of the schedule for our content, and it makes it easier for everyone to know what day it is and why we drop content and when we drop content. Whether it's the YouTube Shorts, one at 12 a.m., one at 12 p.m., or whether it's the lunchtime live stream at 1 p.m., or whether it's the after work live stream at 5:15 p.m., everybody begins to know what you are doing, how you are doing it, and your pattern of content creation. Every morning between 9 o'clock and 9:15, I watch to see when Miss T with the T is going to go live. It's the same thing for other content creators. By 9:30 to 10 o'clock, I'm looking to see when Shane at Great Farmer Freelance is going to go live. Because without them telling me, I know their general schedule of when they go live. And as a result, because I enjoy their content, I know what to do to be there when that content drops. And that is the type thing that we want to build, this momentum on our channel, on this platform, so that both you and we can beat the YouTube algorithm, because we understand now what the algorithm wants from us. And it's simply up to us to beat this algorithm so it'll speak. So hopefully the things that we've discussed will somewhat empower you so that you too will be able to do the same thing, so that you can grow on this platform, so that we can come to your monetization party. because you have reached both of your goals. Now, we're kind of ending it, going back to where we started with the growth of YouTube, grow with YouTube and our watch time hours. Now, the reason why we're kind of coming back here full circle, we don't want content creators to get so wrapped up in YouTube Shorts that they aren't making any type of long form content. Because the long form content is what's going to allow you to be able to reach monetization. Now, once you become monetized, if you decide that you don't want to do any long form content, all you want to do is YouTube Shorts, then that's perfectly fine. But know that YouTube Shorts is just one key in this missing situation or this goal of reaching our 4K and 1K. So we want to make sure that we use this key, we use this tool in a proper way to get to where we're going. And if we do it that way, then yes, you, me, and everyone else here, we will be able to beat the YouTube algorithm. So I hope that you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've enjoyed the premiere as we have discussed YouTube analytics and watch time hours. We had a special guest for our premiere today.
Don't touch me.
Excuse me. Good Lord, boy, he's touchy too. Now, mind you, he was touching me before he told me not to touch him. But anyway,
Touchy?
yeah, slightly.
You realize I could claw your eyes out right now, right?
Yes, I do, but you won't because you love me.
Anyway.
So, I hope you've enjoyed the video about YouTube analytics and how you can beat the YouTube algorithm by means of watch time hours. Watch time hours is the key to growing on this platform. Did you enjoy the video, Black Panther? I'm gonna take that as a yes. Are you gonna activate your vibranium? Well, you heard it here, folks. The Black Panther loved the video. So I hope you've enjoyed the content. I hope you've enjoyed this little skit thing that we did, because you know how us and Little Man do. And in the comments below, tell him how much you like the mask. It'll make him feel good. Ain't that right, buddy? Oh, I'm sorry. Isn't that right, the Black Panther? I'm gonna take that as a yes. So, now that we've had this uncomfortable moment of me not knowing how to speak to the Black Panther, we are gonna end the video. I hope you all have had a good day. Thank you for being here as always. And as we always say, stay strong, stay positive, stay active. Flee. What in the world? You've been serious the whole time and now you decide to be silly?
Okay, let's edit that out. Though.
No.
Dad, please.
No.
I didn't think it through. Now
No, we can't edit it out.
Why can't we edit? Well,
because this, no. Just fixing your strap, buddy. Just fixing your strap so that it's perfectly aligned on your head. This is what the people love the most. This is what they request.
They request.
Yes.
They request this idioticness.
Yes. Because there's no other idiotic people like us on this platform. There's some. Often imitated, but never duplicated. So, Black Panther, while I have you here, before we end the video, is there anything that you would like to tell our audience, our family members?
Subscribe today.
Or else?
You will have no eyes.
Well, okay, you heard it here, folks. If you want to see our next content, you have to click the subscribe button. Black Panther says so. And we cannot disappoint Black Panther. So I hope you've enjoyed the little fun that me and Little Man have. You want to tell them bye? Oh, I'm sorry. You're still in Black Panther mode. I'm used to buddy mode. So, I hope you guys have a great day. By all means, stay strong, stay positive, stay active. Geek Squad! GoPro, stop recording.